Hey guys, so popping back on, we're going to finish up these teacher gift earrings. So first thing, I did take these off the tape that I had them on, just so that it wasn't sticking to the back and so forth. I need to Dremel off the edges a smidge, clean them up, and finish drilling our holes. The one piece that was keeping our hole on this one came out. That's fine. Not worried about that, you know, from the standpoint of this phase. So I'm just going to take, this is just a nail file one. You can use a Dremel. You can use the nail file one. The motorized one, though, is going to be your best friend when you're doing something of this nature, just because the deburring tool can only do so much for you. So this is going to actually go all the way around for us. We're going to trim down like the back here so that it's not sharp, but definitely has some sharp pieces. Around and smooth that out. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Oops. Basically, it has a safety feature that'll stop if it's got too much resistance, so it just had that safety feature kick in. Oh yeah, that's why, because this one had that extra little bit that rolled behind it. I remember now. There we go. It's a little bumpy here, so I'm going to try to smooth it out. A little bit of a difference there, but it's fine. Keep drumming as you go, so that you, I might have to charge this one. I'm just doing the entire back because, honestly speaking, it needed to have the back redone, just because there was enough of a layer. Built up. Okay. I mean, truthfully though, there's enough of that lip. It just is the angle of the flower. I'm going to try to, yeah, I think that will give it a better look. Okay. Oh. Sometimes you'll go a little crazy. And we'll dust these off before we do any more work of adding resin. But I wanted to get all this part done because it's not fun to do when it's very noisy. It's like, and then I went on the front. Yep, sure did. So we're going to have to add another layer. Okay. Since I already were in the front with stuffing it, we're going to do that just to finish up the scuffing of it. I have to use tweezers to pull that out. I just don't want this to be okay. Let's smooth this baby out. I might end up doing is just doing a dip of these. I might try to dip them in UV resin. We'll see. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Pretty much a mess. Might as well scuff the top of this one since we're gonna be doing the other one, and I want them to have the same kind of level. If I do another layer on that one, I want this one to also have that layer, basically, if that makes sense. So just scuff it up. I know that looks scary, but trust the process with it. These don't need a lot. You just need a little bit of a cleanup around the edge. And then we'll do a quick painting of our edge and add our, drill our holes back in place, and then add our hardware, and they're done. This does create a ton of dust. This is a heads up. Okay. Whew. Whoops. This one has a like forward and back, and if you hit it strong, it goes on both. Okay. Let's grab a paper towel and a little bit of water just to wipe everything off here. So just taking it to wipe off our earrings. Some of the pink kind of transferred, which is weird. Not sure about that. These are going to be really pretty when they're all done. It's just taking a lot longer than intended. Okay. The reason why I do a little bit of water with this is just to grab all that dust and pick it up, because it's so dusty. But it wasn't getting enough water to really do anything except move the dust around instead of absorb it. The nice thing about silicone is it's going to evaporate any moisture that's on it really quickly, which is nice. Okay, so these are really ready for their hole to be drilled and then hardware. This one, these ones are going to take a little bit more work, which, I mean, we knew, but me bumping the front of it is going to make a little bit more work, essentially. That's fine. That's all good. There's just like a little piece on top here. So let's see if I can get it off. Yep. Okay. So I did have a plot with these. I don't know. To do things like this, but now I don't know. I honestly haven't seen it in a little while. So the question lies in my brain, what did I do with that? If I did anything with it. Well, obviously I did something with it. As y'all know, I did this. I just gotta look around for what I'm looking for. Huh. Might not do what I'm thinking if I can't find what I'm wanting. so weird. So I had bought, maybe I didn't buy them. I'm going to have to check my Amazon purchase history. But I could have sworn that I bought some little nail polish bottles that are black to hold, essentially put some UV resin in them for brushing on the UV resin, which would really help us in this mode of things. But maybe I waited to purchase them, which is a little odd of me, because normally I'm kind of like oh, I see something, I'm going to get it, and that's the solution, and then I have it, and so forth. But I don't know what I would have done with them, and I cannot for the life of me visualize the container that they would be in. So yeah, so that's out the window. What I really would like to do is basically dunk these in some UV resin, but you have to be careful when you're doing that. Let's do this. Maybe. Definitely not that cup. Okay. So, because we're going to dump in to a thing, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this upside down in a plastic cup. The cup should help block, because it's a white plastic cup, it should help block out the light in the workspace. That's my goal in this moment to do. I hope I have another UV resin. That is an even bigger question, because that doesn't have a ton in it. And I don't know if that's even going to give us enough to do what we need to do to finish these, which would be a bigger issue. Don't mind me. I sat down and was like, I'm going to knock this out. But you know how it is. I always do that. Alright, let's look over here. Well, that's hanging upside down. Let's see if I got more. Huh. Interesting. What I'm finding is my colored, oh, right above it. There's my UV resin. I was like, please tell me I have more. And I do. Okay. I just had to look on the shelf above what I was looking at. My hyper focusing, I was in one realm of the area. So now that I brought in my visual side, guess what? We have some UV resin. Yay! Now I'm hoping, the idea is that I can put this in here and, son of a gun, it has leaked. Let's just see what we can do, because that has leaked. Okay. I've had so many issues with Amazon lately, and it's not like little issues. And this is probably past the return date because I've had it a little bit, but I would never have thought to look at it. But I'm telling you, I've had so many issues with them. They've been delivering, like, I don't know what they're doing with my packages. I got like an empty bag one day. I'm like, you literally delivered an empty bag. It was an Amazon bag or like package, but it was empty. I was like, what'd you do with my puzzles? They're like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, first off, 2 puzzles shouldn't have fit into that container. Secondly, this appears to be the one that's leaking, so I'm opening it. But I decided to put gloves on because I don't want to be covered. You know, so they're just like, oh, we're sorry, we don't know what happened. I'm like, well, yeah, I don't either, but I appreciate that, you know, you just went ahead and delivered an empty bag, which you then knew was empty. Like, maybe this is the one that leaked, actually, because it sounds like it. This is the one that leaked. You can tell it's got like a pinprick or something in it. And it's all in the cap. Well, both of them are all in the cap. Lord. Okay. We're going to do that for now. We'll deal with that mess later. I'm going to basically just take this and go and dunk it fully in. Never done a dunking, y'all, so this is new. Okay, I'm just going to submerge in the UV resin, and then I'm going to pick it up. Had I thought through this? No. We dove right in. We should have thought through this a little more. Because if I cure this while I have the tweezers on it, you know what's going to happen? We're going to have marks of the tweezers. So, yep. Did not. This one I can do. I have a hole. So I'm going to do this one. A big enough hole. And I'm basically just trying to let as much come off as possible. And you're probably like, well, how are you going to cure this? I'm going to show you. As soon as we drip off of here, I will show you my thinking. Just trying to get it to where it's not going to be dripping. Oh, they look so good, y'all. Oh, it looks so good. I do love these, actually. It was one of those that I was kind of struggling with if I liked them. But as it's come along, I'm really loving them. I'm just dipping it, not even in, I'm just catching where the resin is dripping and dipping it so that it kind of brought that off of there. I don't have the best of grip on here, so I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to look and see if I have any bubbles that I should be concerned about on the front. I got another little drip coming. Can my hold it long enough? Now, I am going to, I know that one's in there. It's really weird. I'm going to basically cover that so that we can't see it, okay? I picked up this to do my nails with specifically, but I think it's going to help us with this curing process. And there's a little another drip coming. while I'm navigating left-handed. I'm trying to get this flat so that I can. So I'm going to start with the curing on here with just this little UV light. I'll show you guys more of this light in a minute once we get a little bit more done. I don't even think that I'm going to put an outside color on this, nor am I going to edge it. And I'll tell y'all why. Because I think, honestly speaking, it's gorgeous the way it is. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. Now, is this light going to give us the full cure? No. But it's going to get us pretty solid. And there's still a little bit more dripping, so I'm going to get the drip off. Actually, try to do that. Oh, my hand is cramping, y'all. Got a cramping hand. Okay, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna use my gloved part to get my tweezers back and just go ahead and put it in the UV light on the tray and let that finish curing up fully, now that it's not super sticky, so that that's curing over there. And then we can turn this guy off. All right, let's see if we can't retrieve our other one. Basically, I'm trying to save this resin, you know, that's gonna be in here. Problem is, I don't, oh yeah, this one has enough of a hole. Okay. Had enough of a hole. We'll make it work. Oh, they're so stunning. They don't need anything else. Truly. They are gorgeous. Now I will get, there's a bubble. Possibly. Might already be in the layer below, but it shouldn't be. Ooh, starting to burn it, so. It has to be in the layer below. Oh, it's, no, it's there. Okay. Yeah. It must be in the layer below, but I would have thought I would have buffed it out with my, sanding process. Sorry, I was focusing and I couldn't do both. You know how I get sometimes. I can't do all of it. Okay. And the reason why I cover the cup is so that there's no chance of this UV light getting in it, right? I don't want that light to transmit over, basically. And I'm really wanting to get the edges cured up and the back side. There's a bubble on the back. I don't know if I can get him. Nope, he's there. He's there. He's there to stay. That kind of did something funky. It's leaving a weird. There we go. I was like, I want that off. I don't want it on. I got it. Oh, man. I'm trying to get the back side pretty well because when I stick it on my tray over here, I don't want it to stick to my tray too much. Okay. I think I can work to get my tweezers back. Let's put those under this light. I'm going to do 180 seconds and then we're going to pop it in some ice water so that it fully seals those up. I'm going to try to transfer this back in basically to my UV resin. And that worked very well, honestly speaking. And I'm just going to use one of my stir sticks to come back through. Now, if I ever were to get like a container that is fully blacked out, that was deep enough and wide enough, that had a lid, then you could just keep some UV resin in there and you wouldn't have to go transferring back and forth. And that's my idea with the nail brushes. I want to use, or nail polish containers, I want to be able to use them in the future with that. Okay, so I was able to do that. Let's see. This is the one that spilled, but we should be able to. Good news is I don't think a lot was lost with the spillage. So part of me wants to complain to Amazon, yes. But at the same time, like, I know I'm past my return and so forth. Ooh, goodness gracious, about lost that. So I'll probably just let this one go. But I will tell you, if I keep having issues, I'm gonna have to. Like one day they literally left a package out in the rain. They didn't even put it underneath our overhang. I was like, it is full on raining. Been raining all day and you just left it in the rain. So the box was sopping wet, fell apart when I brought it in. I'm like, what are we doing? I did complain on that one. I was like, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable behavior. Okay. I'm just using some rubbing alcohol, clean up my tools. And this is going to be fun because we ended up getting the resin on these, and these are not silicone. And these are some of my faves, so we're going to try to get this bounced off of here. There we go. Oh, cool. There we go. Okay. So, rubbing alcohol on here. I'm not going to clean this cup. It's just going to go in the garbage. It's fine. Fine, fine, fine. Let's see. I am going to, I've got a little bit of water in here, and I have an ice cube that I brought up because I want this water to be nice and frigid. And I'm going to pour it in here so that it can get nice and frigid. Like, because what you want to do, essentially, is pop them in there right after they come out of that UV light. And that's supposed to help also seal the UV on there and make it less sticky. Look at how gorgeous. Grab the ice cube by accident. These are. I mean, look at that. These are stunning, y'all. I'm really, really happy with how they've turned out. Now, I'm still feeling like they're a smidge tacky, so we'll see how this goes. We might have to put them under the light a little longer. But I love how that is. Now, these ones I do think I should probably, with a little bit of gold or silver, just do the edges. I think that would be really pretty. I was thinking silver because that's what I did her coasters with, but I think these are calling gold. These are giving me gold. All right, before we do that though, I'm gonna go ahead and drill our holes. So I want to get our little holes done. So I've got a little drill bit in my Dremel, and I'm on a piece of cardboard so that I don't damage my silicone or my table. And this is like this small drill bit, which is fine, but I want to give myself a little bit of room to get, you know, get a piece in there. And I'm basically finding the original hole that got sealed up and using that. How's our basis? Okay, let's see. Yeah, these sides are a little tacky. Yep, we jammed her. We jammed her. Highest speed. And the great thing about putting the cardboard underneath is I don't have to worry about if I go all the way through. I just make a hole in the cardboard. And that's fine. Okay. Perfect. This has 3 levels. It was needing the 3rd level to really get that loosened up and in there. Oh, it is sharp up here. So probably, where's my other file? Not that I really want to make a bunch of dust. Man, that's a terrible noise. Now, I'm not really worried about it being scuffed up here because it's going to be hidden by our hardware and it's going to be so minor. But I did need to do that. That was where our tweezers were, and that definitely was not a good spot to have that be left over. Okay, I'm going to take this glove off. It was just more with those bottles. I didn't want to have that glove on because they were sticky. I gotta figure out dinner for my family soon. We're almost done. And I'm dropping stuff. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit gold. Maybe I can get my braids off. This one. Yep. This one, we're going to do a little bit gold around the edge. I think that will just be the chef's kiss of this one. And so just nice and easy. I went mostly around. There are some uneven spots, but it's not enough that I'm concerned about. But like that just gives it the finished look that it needs. I'm probably going to paint the inside too, but I'm probably going to have to do that with a silicone brush like we did the flower coasters, because guess what? It's a very tiny spot to be trying to get into. So we'll do that momentarily. And I'm letting those other 2 pairs of earrings, cure up another 180 seconds, and then I'll dunk them in the cold water again just to get them worked up. Okay, I had my things got moved around. I had my little bin that was holding my colorant from yesterday, but now I'm not seeing it, so we're just going to do another one. It's fine. When I had the silicone brush, there we go, that we used yesterday. Maybe this isn't the one that we used. Come on. There we go. Here it goes. Maybe. I feel like yesterday I was able to get a significant amount out that I was able to actually paint on. Was it the other pen? Come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's gonna be enough. Oh yeah, this is definitely what was needed. Definitely. Now I'm trying to be really careful to not get in the front or the back side of these, because I want to keep that the same. But still get fully coated on the inside. Oh. Enough on there. So let's just, there we go. That should be enough to get the insides. All right. And then I gotta go figure out dinner for the family. So I will, I just went across the front of that a little bit, but it's okay. I wiped it and I think it's gonna be close enough. I'm gonna figure out dinner with the family, but then I'll come back and we'll add the hardware to these. Pretty simple situation when we're talking that, but I don't want to be too rushed, and I'm feeling like I'm probably going to be rushed. I think it kind of helps define this little hole right there, which is cute. Because there's an air bubble, and that's just part of working with the resin. And we've got like a geode situation going on. And what I'm going to do, just so that you know it's very similar, is I'm just going to rub a little bit on there so that they look more uniform with it. You know, it's nothing crazy. It just gives that little bit of flair that this one now has on there. See? Sweet. Everything's fixable. You gotta get a little creative, mind you, but everything is fixable, which is, you know, why we do things the way we do. Okay, these actually feel a whole heck of a lot better. I am gonna dunk them in here just for a moment, and then like I said, I'll figure out dinner and I'll come back and we'll add some hardware. I feel a little bit rough on the backs. I might end up with the back side putting a little coat of the gold just on the back. I don't really want to do the edges because I think they're really pretty. And I think the fronts are really pretty, and I'm afraid if I do the edges, it's going to box these in, and I don't really want that. I like the airy feel that it's giving off. So, all right. I will pop on with part 2 of this little episode. All right, see you soon. Hey guys. All right, so dinner's done. Now we can come back and finish these babies on up. All right. There's just a little resin film right there, so I wanted to get that out of there. I was going to do these with silver, but I think I'm going to do these with the silver. I'm flip-flopping which direction we go. Let's look at the back of these. Don't look half bad. Truthfully. Look at them. They're a little wet still. But yeah, I don't think they're that bad. I think I'm just going to leave those backs. And put these in the with the silver and those with the gold. Okay. Of course, I forgot to grab my jump ring helper, but we're just going to roll without it. I definitely want a bigger jump ring for these ones because they definitely I just bring that are thicker, if that makes sense. And this might not even be big enough to do it. I might have to do a C-clamp. Yep. That's exactly what we're going to do for that one. That is fine. All fine. Let's go ahead and get the gold. I don't think that's the same gold. No. I think that's a mixture of colors in there. Okay. So I'm opening these the old school way, which is just 2 pliers to do it. Having a jump ring tool is definitely a lot easier to do this, but it's fine. We're only doing 2 pairs, so I can do it the old way. I just gotta bring these back together. There we go. Look at how simple and easy. Voila! Earring one. Oh my god, those aren't the same color. This one is. So you just have to find the opening of your jump ring. Position your pliers, pull them open, thread this through, which is a little bit challenging. Make sure, depending on where your front is, that you're getting your back, your earring to be laying correctly for it to be to the front. Okay. So this probably needs to be pivoted so that, yep. I just had to pivot our the way that is connecting to our jump ring. I needed this loop to be this direction so that we could definitely ensure that it is facing the right way and ensure that they lay correctly when they're in your ear, essentially. But look at those. Those are super sweet. Relatively simple-ish. I say ish because, you know, they still take a little bit of time and effort, like any craft. Alright, let's get a C-clamp one. We still are going to need a jump ring. Not sure why I put those away. And I truthfully could have grabbed my tool, but at this point, like I said, I'm only doing 2 more now, so. Alright. These are little C-clamps. when you have a thicker piece that you're trying to work with, these come in really handy for this purpose. Let's see, I'm going to need the biggest one we got. I'm going to do those two. Okay. So with our C-clamp, in theory, you could go ahead and put it on there. We're still going to have to open up our jump ring to go around that, so I'm not really worried about that side of it. I'm going to have to open this up a smidge more to get that open all the way. And basically you just got to line up the front and the back. This is more challenging, I feel like, than the jump rings are, so that you can get this, basically both those little knobs pushed into the hole of your piece and bring them together as much as they will go. Granted, I still want it to have some swaying movement, so that's fine that it's doing this, but you just want to get that as closed up as you can so it doesn't come apart. I feel like I have fingerprints all over it. Like, okay. Alright, jump ring in. Again, making sure my earring's gonna lay properly. We're not gonna have to adjust the earring piece on this one because guess what? We added an extra layer, so it's gonna lay the proper way. Look at that. Gorgeous. Really love it. I do see a really bad fingerprint right in here. Finger smudges. And I'm wondering if I should just paint a thin layer of resin over it. But I'm also like, goodness, this one doesn't look too bad. It's got a glove print on it. It's just when I took them off the tweezers, I think. It's kind of one of those learn things. This one I didn't open up wider, but I was able to get it on, which I'm hoping will make it a smidge easier. Which somewhat is. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, Lord. Stuck to my silicone mat over there. Like, why? Alright, look at there, y'all. Okay, I am going to put just a really thin layer over top of those because the fingerprint thing is really bugging me. I know it's probably like super silly, but it's bugging me. So I am going to put a little bit on a silicone brush here, like one of these, and I'm just gonna fan it over. And basically making it really, really thin. And then I'm going to use that new light. I'll show you this light better because I said I would, and then I didn't because we were moving ourselves along. So I'm trying to not make more of a mess with this, by any means, but just a thin enough layer that it can, you know, get those fingerprints and shine that up a little bit. It was looking a little dull. Okay, so this thing, it's battery operated UV light. It's got this bendy thing, so you can actually attach a piece to it and then stick it to your wherever you're working, so that it's like this. It goes up like this. You can come down. You could do like this. It has all sorts, and then it also does like this. If you had something over here that you wanted to do and something over here you wanted to do, you could do it that way. I'm going to get these pretty close to the light just so that it can cure up fully. And I put my silicone brush on the edge of there too, because I want that to fully cure up so I can peel that right on off. And then these are ready to roll. We're ready to have my daughter take them tomorrow to her teachers with the coasters. I'll bring everything up for one more show. They'll show off, show and tell. Let's see, probably a little bit longer. That's the only thing. It doesn't have a timer, so, you know. I got it so that I can do my nails, because when you're trying to glue your nail on and you've got tweezers and you're pushing that nail on, it's hard to get under a regular UV lamp. So this was what that was intended for, but it's coming in handy tonight too. I'm going to pop these under the other light for about 60 to 180 seconds, just so that they finish fully curing up, while I show off our other pieces that we finished, because it's show and tell time. Yay! The series is coming to an end. So, this gorgeous rose pink, gold, and silver shimmer is stunning. We've got one of our yellow ones, the shimmer, and it's kind of got some gold. Look, see the ring light above? That is some Counterculture DIY resin for you. It definitely can reflect some light if you get the right angle. These are really pretty. They turned out so good, so cute. I think this one might be my favorite. The way it swirled and bloomed in here is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I just absolutely love that. And then pink and gold. Look at these. Pink and gold earrings. Didn't those turn out really cute? And those are really pretty easy. I mean, we didn't have to do a ton to them at all, which was very, very nice. These other ones, we had a lot happen with them. There's just a lot that had to go on. Now, they're gorgeous. They're much heavier. Like, I could wear them for an outing. I don't know if I could wear them all day long. They are pretty chunky for an earring. They would make cute pendant necklace. But, you know, somebody will probably wear them as an earring. Hopefully her teacher. You know, even for a little outing. And then I'm going to show you this. This has that UV resin on it. And it should just, see, peel right on off. Also, I didn't show y'all yesterday how to clean our little cup. It's just a little rubbing alcohol in here and a paper towel. And we can even clean up our, we can use this silicone brush to clean off of it. And see, it's breaking that down. And it's cleaning our tip just like we want it to. And voila. So we are done. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. They have other things too. You guys are probably like, hey, show off the other things. Alright, we got our little worry stone pocket hugs. Those are cute. And then our little votive candles. Look at these. They're so cute. They could be for votives. I've put jewelry in them. Like, whatever you want. But I just love them. I really do love how these turn out. These are probably one of my favorite molds, personally. And they're super easy and fun to do. So yeah, Teacher Gifts 2026 in the books. Hope y'all enjoyed. And I will see you guys again soon for some more crafting fun. Bye y'all.